All right, good afternoon. We're going to start our mock interview. Hi, my name is Lakeisha Richardson, and I'll be doing your interview today.
My name is ADN Yancy.
Nice to meet you, Avanti.
Same to you.
All right, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself and why you chose nursing?
Okay, I'm a mother of two. I have an 11-year-old and a 23-year-old, and I have a 3-year-old grandson. I've been in healthcare for over 20 years. I started out as doing community health. Then I became a part of Murdoch Center. I've been there for 15 years now. I started out as a healthcare tech, and then I went to become a YPA, which is a youth program educator.
Okay.
Then I decided to go to school for nursing, and I became an LPN 6 years ago.
Okay.
I enjoy working with people with intellectual disability. That's what made me go back. I wanted to do more. I feel like I can do more than just be a healthcare tech or YPA, even though the L roles are real important, but I wanted to see the other side. Okay. And so then COVID came. After COVID came, I went to school online and did my prereqs, and I joined Advanced Grammar, the transition program for RN.
Okay.
And have an expected graduation date of May 2025.
Okay.
And I became a nurse because when I was young, I just always loved to help people. I mean, I'm always, even down to anybody hurt, I was always there. And I was always the go-to person. And I enjoyed that. Okay. So I wanted to do more. So I just went back to school. I think I can move up. And that's the only way to move up is to go back to school and be educated. Right. So that's why I became a nurse.
Okay, very good. Can you describe or tell me about one time you made a mistake, whether it was at class or clinical, and how did you handle that?
One time I made a mistake is I gave a client some wrong information before. Okay. The client asked me something, and I gave them the wrong information. I went back to the client, and I explained it to them that the information that I gave them was wrong, because it's critical where I'm working at with intellectual disability or people with like mental health issues. Mm-hmm. If you get them wrong information or you tell them something, so I went back and I explained it to them, and because we have a good rapport, they actually trust me. So by me going back to them and giving them the right information, I even printed out a handout for them and gave it to him. And so he was like, okay, he understood, and he was glad that I came back to him with the right information, because it can cause a lot of behaviors. If you tell them one thing and it's wrong, and so I went back to him and I explained. I told him I was sorry, this is the right information right here, and as you can see, and he was happy that I done so, and I was happy too, because I want to be trusted. Right. That's the main key, to make sure that you're being trusted. So
great example. What does good patient care mean to you?
Good patient care to me is not just treating the disease itself. Most people go in and just see what's wrong with the patient or just get them the medicine to treat the disease. But I like to treat the whole patient, as a whole. I want to treat the disease and see what's causing it, but to actually treat the patient as a whole, patient-centered. Seeing what's wrong with the patient, because it might not just be that, just getting down to the root of the problem. So good patient care is just treating the patient how you want to be treated.
Okay. All right. Can you describe what good documentation is?
Well, I was always told that if it wasn't documented, it wasn't done. Mm-hmm. Good documentation is making sure you put in the right information. It keeps up with the time, the date, and when it was done, who was done by. It communicates to the physicians and the rest of the team. It's continuous care. All the documentation you put in the system, it shows how to take care of the patient. Even if it's down to a legal issue, you had to go to court, it shows like who did what. Okay. So I believe in good documentation. Okay. Making sure everything is documented, and when there's an error, you go back in and correct the errors. It's especially electronic now, because we still on paper. Okay. But going to like my different clinicals in school and seeing the documentation electronic, it really helps out a lot. So good documentation is key.
It's so important.
It's really important.
Mm-hmm. All right. Can you describe or tell me how you would handle a rude physician or a rude supervisor or someone who was just being mean?
I actually was in a situation like that before.
Okay.
One of the physicians that worked at Murdoch was very rude, and she was always rude, and everybody always talked about it. And I was getting her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know, you never know what a person's going through. You know, sometimes it's a lot on a person's mind, even though they don't cause the person to be rude. But she was actually rude to me, and I was like, oh, I see what everybody was talking about.
Right.
But I let it go. I said maybe she was just having a bad day. Then she done it again. But when it kept happening, I just like, hold on, wait a minute. I sat her down and I talked to her first, and I was like, you know, what you said and how it's a way that you can talk to people and say things, you know. And I said, and everyone is talking about it, not just me. And she didn't realize what she was doing, and she didn't realize that she was coming off that way, and everybody thought that because no one had the courage to go to her because she was a physician, you know.
Okay.
So, but I did. I was like, no, because you're grown and I'm grown.
Right.
So I wanted to let you know how I felt, and she understood.
Okay.
But she stopped. But if it hadn't stopped, then I would have went to the next step, and I would have went to HR.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. That concludes our interview.
Okay.
So, as the person conducting the interview, I would definitely hire Avanti. Avanti was on time. She was dressed appropriately. She answered questions appropriately. She takes accountability for her actions, including her mistakes, and she knows how to deal with difficult situations. Thank you.